Hi there. So I just wanted to talk really briefly about how hard life can be sometimes, how far away creativity can feel, how discouraging all of it can be, and to let you know that if you feel any of those feels, you are not alone. So I wanted to share a quote, because you know how I love quotes. This is from Matt Licata. He says, "When it is impossible to claim for even one more moment that you are unworthy of the wild, untamed love that is your birthright, your perception will be cleansed, and you will realize you are home in the sacred world that has always been here and is already the holy ground on which you stand." So, you deserve to feel whole, to feel your holiness, to feel the sacredness of this incredible body. And I know that sometimes that is so freaking far away. For me on my journey, there was so many times where this was the last place I wanted to be, was with me. And that's why I preach so much with the work that I do and the clients and the courses and spaces that I facilitate in. It's about that relationship, you with you. Because if you do not feel at home here and good with you, nothing else can really be good. This is the relationship that you have, till death do you part, literally. And so it's the best place to invest your time and energy and resources in. And if you are feeling any of the feels, I just invite you to welcome them. And I know that can sound like, well, yeah, it's just so easy, just welcome it in. It feels like crap. I get it. I so get it. And it's just for a moment. You can go back to resisting and numbing and running away the second that you want to. But in my experience, that is always the cornerstone, is when you begin to turn towards that experience, turn towards that which you have been abandoning or usually step away from. And there's so much liberation that can happen when all of the parts and pieces of you start to be welcome at the table. I just launched my creative course. We start February 10th, and it is all about that journey of coming back home to you and really knowing for you what that feels like, how to cultivate and tend to and really feel at home here. Because if you feel at home in your body, you're home everywhere you go. And if you can feel all of you and all the parts and pieces and have access to all that, there's just so much more of you, so much more power, so much more energy. There's just more of you available for you. So this journey isn't up here. Parts of it are. Cognitive awareness is excellent. And in my experience, it must be coupled with embodied awareness, with feeling on that felt, visceral, sensory level at your senses, your physical sensations, at that level, what it feels like. Because everything is stored here, everything is held in the body. So in the course, in the second week, I dive into opening and using breath and sound and movement to begin to open and clear the blocks so that creative life force energy can flow through. Because everything is held here, and until we really begin to tend to how life is stuck or blocked or energy is held or constricted or numbed or blocked off in us, we can't get to the juiciness that's underneath that. And then also it can't flow through us. And we sense it. That's the thing. There's almost all of the problems that clients or people come to me with, they all boil down to resisting what is. like if you can just invite and welcome that back in, if you can open to it, soften to it, allow it, like it's always that meeting. And that's why I say and have kind of encapsulated a lot of my teachings into meeting yourself again and again, because it's really that meeting process that we don't do, that we're not taught how to do, and that keeps us from ourselves. And we feel this, right? Like, you can imagine this as however it appears in your life, as anxiety, as like this like sticky, I feel like my life is like through this window and I can't touch it. I feel like I'm cut off from life, from energy, from people. Like I don't feel connected. There's loneliness, fear, any kind of like, just that, like a harmony that's off. So it's how do we bring it back into alignment and just begin to like meet and to merge and to connect and come home. So then we're operating from just a different organization of our parts and pieces. So if any of this sounds intriguing to you or makes sense at all, because I feel like I am kind of just yammering, the course begins on February 10th. It's 2 live calls a week, 2 90-minute live calls a week. It's a screaming deal. 1 more teaching and 1 embodiment practice where we're moving and we're breathing and we're getting into our bodies and freeing and releasing and really taking and transforming the learning into living. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many tools you have. It is the one using the tools. It's you. And that is my intention, is to evoke, to invigorate, to strengthen that way of being. So then the doing is different, the having is different, right? The going into life and creating how you want to live, the life that you desire. So yeah, there's an early bird special right now for only $149. What? So crazy. I know. You also get weekly like at-home practices and guided audios and homework and reflections. And I think the best part is that you are not alone. So doing this type of work in a sacred, safe, held container it's so good. Because yeah, you can do it alone. But in my experience, all of the big like chunks, shifts, like clunk pieces going into place came from being in space with others. Even virtual space, even on Zoom. There's something, it's just what I think humans were meant to do this with other humans. And a lot of the, epiphanies I've had have come from someone else in their experience or expressing what they are going through or getting support on whatever is unfolding for them. So you can see yourself reflected in others as well. And sometimes that is the exact amount of space that you need from it to have that paradigm shift. Because when we're really in it, sometimes we're just in it and it's just too close and like we literally like can't see. And so to like get that like lens and different perception. So anyway, all the information you would ever need to know is down below. And feel free to reach out with any questions and know that if that creativity and that aliveness feels far from you, you're not alone. And it really is already here. It's about coming back to that wild. The first week we do a rewilding practice. And I know for me, like there's so much that we just kind of get tamed out of. We get domesticated. I mean, we are from the earth. We're from the elements. And how we live these days, we can feel really cut off from that prana, that life force, that ancient, still, wild, earthy, creative soil. So it's also about peeling off the layers and coming back to that. So yeah, if you're interested, check it out. And this early bird price will go up soon, so sign up. And yeah, I really hope to see you there. Mwah.